Dr. Jones! Dr. Jones! Welcome to
Every day it's macaroni.
I'm Joy Alford Brand.
And I'm Juliet Connell, and we're the hosts of Everyday Macaroni, the podcast.
This podcast is a look at the lighter side of life, where we talk about our adventures as a modern blended family.
So sit back, relax,
And prepare to have your funny bone tickled. Hello, listeners. Boy, do we have an extra special treat for you today. But before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to give this video a like, share, and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. That helps us create more fun content for you, our one and only listener. And for those of you who are new here, these episodes are based on the recordings of the weekly dinners I have with my husband, Ron, his sister, Juliet, who is also a co-host of this podcast, and their 80-year-old parents, Al and Lita. Now, these dinners are pretty funny. And since today is April Fool's Day, 2023, we've decided to give you a little sampling of a few funny moments from a typical Monday night dinner. We're calling this episode April Foolsilli. So let's get started with a discussion of Lita's mood, shall we? Well, we got a lot to talk about today.
Do we?
Oh, do we?
Oh, boy.
Yes. First of all, did you notice your mother was in a really good mood?
Last Monday.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice?
Yeah, she kind of la la la.
Oh, practically the whole evening. From the time we got there.
It's like ignorance is bliss, because my dad, of course, was the same day that he was...
No.
Running from Rex to Rex.
No, this is last Monday, the 13th. That was the week before, which is why I think your mother was in such a good mood, because the last week she had gotten into a little bit of trouble. Everybody was worried about your dad. The food wasn't good. Remember? It was the fish stew.
Oh, yeah.
I just posted that episode.
Yeah, I know. I listened to the one.
Fish stew?
The fish stew one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. That was the week before.
Oh.
This was the 13th.
What did we eat on the 13th?
Okay, so...
I go by what we've been eating because it's starting to get monotonous, to be quite honest with you.
What do you mean? What's starting to get monotonous?
No, Mondays.
We've been doing it for years.
I know.
We had the pasta sauce, and you and I were both like, it tastes funny.
Oh, yeah, because it had the carrots and the peppers and the onions all
and I actually
blended in there.
I actually have a pretty funny clip about that. All right, so I was going to start off talking about your mother and her being in a good mood, but I think we do need to talk about the food because this was the pasta sauce, right? First of all, they were late making it because the gardener had been there working on stuff in the yard, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, we get there, they're late. You can actually almost hear the pasta boiling in some of the clips. But they put everything out on the island to get it ready.
Uh-huh.
And I took one look in the pot, and I knew, okay, it's a little bit strange. First of all, whenever they cook the meat and they put the meat in there, they don't drain it.
I know, which is
so it's a little
odd.
oily on top.
Yeah.
Not too bad, but there's a little in there, right?
Yeah.
And you never are 100% sure what kind of meat it is. I'm not.
I am, because they only use beef. It's not like it's going to be venison or cat or something.
It tastes so weird that I'm never quite sure. Maybe it has a little pork in it or something. You know what I mean? So anyway, here's what he has to say about the pasta sauce.
Oh, there.
She didn't know that onions were in there.
No, she eats everything because he's eating sour.
Yeah, he thinks he's so clever. She ate everything because she didn't see it. And you're like, uh-huh. And then he's like...
Right, uh-huh. But
I got you.
So I ask him, because I look in the pot and it looks a little weird to me, but I don't care. I'm so hungry by the time we get there that I eat it anyway, right? And during the meal, I ask him what's in the sauce, and here's what he has to say. You can hear your mom
I'm sure there's sugar in the
singing
pasta,
in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, he's still enjoying it. He likes your bread.
Ron gave the dog a big piece of bread.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because I told him he was eating pasta, and then he had bread, and then the sauce had
you were
sugar.
wrong. He liked it.
Yeah. So Ron took his bread practically out of his hand and handed it to the dog.
Did you make the sauce yourself? Did you use a jar
No.
of sauce?
tomato sauce, the tomato, and then ground meat, and it has carrots, it has peppers, and
Onions.
onion, all processed. So you hardly
No, they're there.
know there.
She didn't know that onions were in there.
No, she eats everything because she's eating sour.
Yep, there it is. And that, in a nutshell, is what I went through all the time. He would put stuff in there, and then he wouldn't say anything. And then you'd ask him, and he'd be like, I don't think so. There's no peppers in here? No. And then halfway in the meal, you're like, what is this? Oh, peppers. Yeah, they're in there. You're like, so you could never believe exactly what it was that he was saying.
And he's still doing it to this day.
Yeah. He put the peppers and the onions in a food processor.
No,
And
okay.
then shoved them in there.
I don't know how he processed them. That was funny. I'm just saying. I don't know how he processed them. But I'm telling you, I went back in because, I get up, I go in the kitchen, I look inside the pot, and there's big chunks of peppers in there.
Really?
Oh, yes.
So I must have missed them all.
I don't know.
Because I would not have bitten
Well,
into
first
a
of all,
chunk.
you only got like this much. But I was starving. And I do that on purpose so that when I go over there, I'm just like, whatever it is, I'm, hungry, right? So I go back in, I look in the pot, and there's tons of peppers in there. And I knew it. I knew. Because you and I both, we sat down at the table and we're like, something tastes funny.
Yeah.
He goes on to talk about it a little bit more. But let me just preface this by saying, you can hear your mother singing in the kitchen the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time.
The whole time.
She was singing, la, 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 singing the whole time, right? It's so funny. It's like the TV's playing,
It's like dead space she doesn't like.
Right.
That uncomfortable silence, there never is any.
No.
Ever.
Well, there is. There's some. But she cannot stand the silence. She doesn't like it for whatever reason. I don't know.
Or maybe it's that it's not that she can't stand the silence, is that she can't stop making noise.
Yeah,
maybe that's it.
She's like a bird. She's like a bird in a cage. If you uncover the cage,
I know. Beep, 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 beep. Yep, for the rest of the day.
That's exactly right.
It's pasta bolognese.
Okay.
It's pasta bolognese. I like how he keeps going, I got you. Ha, ha, ha. It's so funny. I got you.
It's just very funny. When he puts vegetables, like tons of vegetables in something, it's primavera. If he doctors it up and puts olives or whatever and other stuff in it, it's pasta bolognese. And you're like, okay. Yeah, okay.
I never know what chopped meat is in there.
Al.
Yeah, a la Al. I never know what chopped meat is in there. I don't.
I think they only ever buy the beef. You'd buy the You buy the not the venison. You buy the mixed one when you're doing meatloaf,
like meatloaf mix or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Sometimes, like for example, he'll make a meatloaf and he puts, I don't know if it's like wheat germ or something in it that makes it a little gritty.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen him buy wheat germ.
Yeah. They have wheat germ in the pantry.
Really?
Yes.
I thought they put that on their, I don't know, I guess their cereal. My grandfather used to do that.
Well, I think he's put it in meatloaf before. And it makes the meat kind of gritty. And so now I kind of don't trust the meat sometimes.
You know what's in there? It's breadcrumbs.
It's not breadcrumbs. No. It's something more sawdusty.
Huh. I'll have to ask him.
Well, I think he's only done it once, maybe twice. But it was an unpleasant experience.
Oh, wow.
The meatloaf was it was gritty. That's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good. Well, your mother said I about 8 times.
Really?
Yes.
For what?
I don't know, okay, so and practically we walked in the door and she started off with it, right? She starts talking. She starts the whole evening off with the chatter. Here, I got a clip.
Hello. Hello. Hi, June.
Now, see, here, you walk in.
From home today or not?
Today I did.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else working from home? Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Oh, I got it you know. Ooh la la. Hee hee hee. Got it. Oh, Julia, tell me about the girls and Ken, because those three are the ones that we don't see now. No, I always try to call them on the weekend when I know they are relaxed and with more time. So how is Ken doing?
Yeah, if she doesn't talk to you in like 3 days, so how's it been?
Arruiño, ¿qué tal? Hey!
Okay.
Ah!
All right.
Beautiful!
It's like Dracula. Beautiful.
All right.
Oh boy.
Okay.
And of course, they've been cooking it, right? They cooked the sauce
Warm it up.
earlier.
Oh, probably, at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Now here it's
Right.
4.
Right.
I mean, sweetie, we are so happy. Thank you.
talking to her dog.
Tiki. There you go. All right. Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Bing.
Bing. She's just chit-chatting to herself. Talking.
Yeah, because I think at this point, we're back in the dining room now.
I'm gonna get me some supper.
Chit-chatting. And then you and I are already at the table, right?
One thing is always cold.
What is
Either the pasta is cold or the sauce is cold.
That's a sauce.
I know.
So
He
hopefully,
literally
hot
took the pasta, not the pasta, the sauce,
Right.
out from on the stove top with pot holders and sticks it on the island. And I touch the side of the pot with my bare hand. And it's barely warm. So you're like, oh.
So he made the pasta sauce early in the day, probably before noon,
Yeah.
and it's been sitting on the stove.
Yeah.
And then we come in and they boil the pasta,
Right.
but they never reheat the sauce.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So not only is it loaded with peppers, but it's also cold. Yummy. Which is funny. It's like, okay,
One or the other. And then they're
Right.
like, wow, this is so great. You're like, what?
almost every time she
Every
says,
single time.
what is it she says? She says, muy rico. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
But you and I were both like, yeah, it tastes funny.
The only time she'll say something's not good is if it's extra spicy. Like if it's got spice and I say something, she'll be like, yes, Al, you put too much whatever in here. No, I didn't put anything. You're like, obviously you did. Because all of us are like, it's a little spicy. And then, of course, Ron comes to the table. He's like, did you put something spicy? No.
Well, maybe some jalapeno.
And then he goes and tries it. He's like, holy cow, it's so spicy. Like,
Yeah, he tries to hide something in there.
so he does it to him. Vinegar, Ron doesn't like either. I don't like onions and peppers. You don't like beans. So they're like, let's just throw everything in there because it really doesn't matter at this point.
Right. Yeah, doesn't matter. Yep, they'll eat it or not. Doesn't matter. It's something that we want to feed them, so we're going to do it.
Don't you want to take that home? No,
Right.
don't want to take that home.
That's the other thing. They start trying to give away the food immediately.
Because they make like
a ton.
like 50 people are going over there, and it's just an extra 3, and you still
And the
have
dog.
food left over, and the dog.
Who knows what they're feeding that dog, you know?
I know.
Of course, she talks to the dog the whole time, right? And then we get to a point where it's like a little bit quiet. And
But not really.
Ay. Bueno, muy rico.
see,
Muy
there's
rico. Muy rico.
And we got the sunshine.
She doesn't stop even when she has food in her mouth. She just cannot help herself.
I know.
I'm like, stop.
So we go on a little bit, and once in a while, Ron comes up with something, right? Normally, he's the one who's poking fun at everybody. He's stirring the pot, but once in a while, he's on the receiving end.
Oh, yeah.
Once in a while.
Every once in a while, he gets it.
He says something, right?
Like, yeah, but she can,
We're talking about
the
Caitlin's
solution,
job
she
getting
this or that. And
She knows what beakers are.
what? I'm sorry.
sorry.
There is
Speakers.
one guy.
Okay. Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
It was hard to hear it in the clip there because
Okay.
it does sound like he said beaker,
No. Let's play it
but
again.
he did not.
He did not. Let's play it again.
like, yeah, but she can, do solutions, she this or that. And
She knows what beakers are.
See?
There it is.
You heard it.
Yeah, I did hear it.
Did you hear it?
I heard it. She does know what beakers are.
Right. Okay. Right.
what, I'm sorry. There is
Beakers.
one guy.
Me, 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 me. A beaker. You know what a beaker is?
I know what a beaker is. I don't know what a beaker is.
That's what I thought he
I
said.
said beaker.
Yes, you did. Indeed, you did say beaker.
Indubitably no.
Now,
Now he's trying to back it up. I didn't say beaker.
well, he hassles me when I use the correct word, and I correct him. So I'm saying, it's a beaker, not a beaker. And he goes, indubitably, I do know what it is. Because he's hassling me a little, right? Because that's a joke between us.
That's what I thought he
I said beaker.
Yes, you did. Indeed, you did say beaker.
Indubitably no.
It's okay. Go ahead.
That's all right. Anyway.
Those kind of mistakes, I can do them. But you, not supposed to.
But you're not supposed to. And then in the background, you're like, that's okay. We'll roll the footage and check.
And sure enough,
Because Macaroni Thunderdome moment, if you mispronounce something, boy, you better be sure we're going to check it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Keep going about the beagle.
You're not supposed to make those mistakes. You know?
Anyway,
Uh,
it'd be nice if she
Very
gets in
funny.
and gets this done.
And your mother, oh, you're not supposed to make those mistakes. That's hysterical. But it's rare that Ron gets a comment from her, even though she's a little tongue-in-cheek about it.
right? Yeah.
Still, she's like,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, just
You did.
just for the record. Everybody knows. So, your mother, I don't know why she was so happy, but she is so excited about the dessert.
Yeah.
And she has almost like a little conversation with the dessert tray.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Let me have one of these beautiful bumblies. No, 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 dee, no, dee, da, da.
Completely oblivious.
Ta-da.
I don't think she's oblivious.
Qué cariño más malo pones. Ay. Oh, nice and puffy. Ooh la la. Oh.
Yeah, be good with them. A cup of coffee.
¿Qué? No te entendí.
I said, well, you know what would be good with them? A cup of coffee.
Oh yeah. I got that. Terrific.
So she's having a whole conversation with the dessert tray. Oh,
yeah.
bumbly, la la la, ooh la la, then so nice and puffy, la la la. Like a little bird, right? Oh. Yes, it's so funny. I love how she calls them bumblies. I never heard that one before. Have you?
No, she just makes up words. She's like, la la la.
Well, that's my new favorite, bumbly. I've never heard that one before. Okay, this is where it starts getting good, right? I just got to roll the clip.
We brought you sugar-free banana pudding. You can make that for later.
So all of us. I know. Hold on.
Thank you.
Got it.
So here we are eating all of these desserts in front of him, right? And she is like singing and la la la. I'm in bliss. We're all eating sugar. And then Ron says, oh yeah, and I bought you some banana pudding. Yeah, it's still in the box. You'll have to mix that with milk and make that, and you can eat that later.
It's sugar-free.
It's sugar-free. And we're all like, what? You mean you bought the box, but you didn't actually make
Yeah,
it?
he just brought over a box of, shout out to Jell-O sugar-free instant banana pudding, right? There it
Oh
is.
my
There
God.
you go.
There you go.
Here's your dessert in a box. I know, you could just eat the powder, really, if you wanted to. That'd be all right. Very funny. When we were getting ready to leave earlier, the box of pudding was sitting on the counter, because if we have stuff that we're going to take to your parents' house, we'll just set it on the counter so we don't forget it on the way out the door. And there's just a box a single box of banana pudding sitting there. I'm like, what's this for? Well, you can eat it later. Suck on the powder. Delicious.
No, you didn't make it. You just, here's the box.
Yeah, man. That way he can make it when he wants. You know, he doesn't have to eat it right away.
Tal vez mejor así.
Yeah,
Your
She
mother.
agrees with him.
When it is available,
he just needs to supply the milk.
Otherwise, he's pushing somebody to eat something that he doesn't want.
Yeah, and I don't push anybody to do anything.
Uh-huh.
So.
Here it comes.
Is that true, Joy?
Oh, with Joy, that is definitely
Oh.
true. She's the boss.
You
Tell
heard it.
I'm the boss.
See? One more time. Tell him again.
I'm the boss.
That sounds good.
I don't know why, but that clip just cracks me up. Now, here at Everyday Macaroni, the podcast, we are all about subtlety, if you hadn't noticed. So, I would like to take this opportunity to tell you to remember what Lita said about never wanting to push anyone to do anything. I'm just saying. We now return to our podcast episode that is already in progress. Now, we get to the part of the evening where we start talking about the Oscars. Okay?
Oh, God. Yeah,
Now-
I forgot about that.
Let me preface all of this by saying Al is a huge movie buff.
Yeah.
He loves the movies. And he watches all kinds of movies.
Yep.
He likes war movies. He likes old movies. He likes comedies.
Entertainment in general.
In general,
Which
yes.
is so funny because my mom hates entertainment in general.
What?
Mhm.
No. Why are you getting that?
She has never liked going to the movies. As long as I know them, she has never, ever been in a movie theater. Never.
Yes, she has.
Not that I know of.
Caitlin and her saw La La Land in the movies.
Okay.
Your dad has taken her to the movies to see movies.
My
Yes.
dad has taken my mother
Yes,
to
we
the
got
movie
them
theater.
some movie passes and they went like once. But your mother doesn't like going to the movies.
Yeah, she doesn't like going to the movies.
You know why?
Because she thinks she's going to get lice from the
Right.
chairs, which is ridiculous. And she doesn't like going to the symphony.
No.
And even if my dad were to get tickets, you remember the one time that he does get tickets,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't want to go. Not with us, not with my dad, not with anybody. And my dad loves going to the movie theater. He likes music.
Mm-hmm.
He used to have a huge record collection. None of it was hers. She likes to sit and maybe read a book. And that's about
Oh, no,
it.
no, no,
Or
no.
talk
There it
and
is.
talk and talk.
There it is.
But that's it. And I think maybe that's the key. That if she goes to a movie theater or she goes to the symphony or she's going somewhere else and being entertained, you can't speak.
You have a point.
Maybe that's it.
You have a completely valid point. That is right.
I just realized that. I'm like,
She is a talker.
She goes nonstop.
Oh, yeah, she does for sure. I
From
never
the
thought about
second
that.
she wakes up till the second she goes to bed. Okay, good night. Then it's done. But yeah, being entertained means you're listening.
Interesting. An interesting idea. Although she does like some films. She loves Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, she likes the classics, right? The stories that she already knows, the Thornbirds, Gone with the Wind, all of these cinematic sort of, they have a little music and they're very easy to follow and that sort of thing.
But she also likes the dancing.
She likes the dancing because we've always watched like those shows, the
Dancing with the Stars. She loves it.
Dancing with the Stars, and then Miss America when they're doing some sort of talent thing or singing or whatever. She loves all those kind of shows, right? Which brings us to the Oscars
Right.
that they watched
Right.
the other day.
But before we get to that, your dad, he's the movie buff, right? So
Yeah.
he's the one who's talking about the movies. And of course, the Oscars, they're all about movies, right?
Yeah.
And he says one thing that I just love when he says it, okay? All right, so we start off with Ron talking about the mule. Is that your stomach again? Wow. I really, I'll
Let's
get
move on.
it's really noisy. Okay. I don't know. Give it its own microphone next time. I don't know.
Actually, if you saw The Mule with Clint Eastwood, I think you have it in your queue for DVD. And he's like,
Oh,
90.
yes, the last one.
Did you see it?
She made. No, I saw the advertising when they come out. But,
You don't ever hear him
no,
say
I
that?
didn't see it.
I do, and I love it. When he's trying to say the advertisement.
Yeah, the
And
advertisement.
No, he says appetizement or appetizer, right? He says the word appetizement. And I actually, listener, checked to make sure there was no such word as appetizement. And there is not until now. That's one of my favorite Al Brandisms, right? Appetizement. I saw the appetizement. Oh, it's so funny. Oh my God. That cracks me up. Every time. All right, so we keep talking.
I kind of want to have another one.
Just talking about the cake.
Well, think about the girdle.
That's right. That's right. I'll do that. No more for me.
So first of all, Dracula wants another cream puff. I kind of think I want another one. Right? Then Ron's like, no, think about the girdle. Again, we harken back to a time when he's continuously calling her fat.
No, and the girdle is because she wears this
The corset. We've
the
talked about it
corset,
before.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And don't you remember a few weeks ago or a few episodes ago, Ron was calling her fat the whole night. Pretty funny anyway. Okay, so here she continues with her love affair with Dracula and the cream puff. I think maybe we should call this episode. But we get to the point where we talk about the movies a little bit more, right?
Yep.
What part he plays in Indiana Jones?
The little kid.
Okay.
In the Temple of Doom. Dr. Jones! Dr. Jones! That kid. Short round.
Why do you keep calling him Short Round? Is that the name?
Okay.
Oh my God, for real.
Yeah.
Juliet. See?
What's that?
Okay. Ki Hui Kwan, I think that's how you pronounce it. Pardon me if that's wrong. He played Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I don't know how many times I have to explain this to you people. He played Short Round.
Short Round. Okay.
That's why Harrison Ford, when he greeted him on
Yeah.
stage, he's like, is that Short Round? And the guy goes, Indy. Okay? All right. It's painful sometimes. I swear. It really is. So the discussion kind of evolves into different Indian movies, right?
Yep. Indian films. Mm-hmm.
And,
Right, because my dad was talking about Life of Pi,
right. Well, wait.
which I don't know that he got it right.
Well, he didn't get it right, but you got to hear it. Okay.
What I saw the Indian too is P.
Life of Pi?
No, just P.
Go to the toilet.
Yeah, it's a boy in a tiger.
Yeah,
In a
Life
boat.
of
That's
Pi.
called Life of Pi.
Right. Life of Pi.
No,
I
it's
say
not
P because
It
it's
must be
P.
your accent.
They probably have to.
So
Pee on the boat.
he said that
I
because
say
it's,
pee-pee.
because it's spelled P-I, and in Spanish that I is a long E sound, so it would be P, Life of P.
Yes, but he goes on to
Pi,
say,
pa.
he goes on to say PP. You heard it. It's right there. Okay. So here we are. We're talking about the Oscars. We're talking about movies. We get to the point where I have to say, usually every Monday night dinner, there's one point in the evening that's my favorite part, right? And we get to this point, and just out of nowhere, it's a classic. It's a really good one.
And I saw the jackass or the little the little
Like
burrito
what?
in the Oscars.
Oh, they didn't
The
see
little
that.
burrito.
Uh,
It's an appearance in some movie or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe a Taco Bell commercial.
No.
Were you watching a commercial?
Who was the one who presented?
Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah,
Okay.
he came with it.
Yeah.
with a
He
little.
brought it.
Yeah, that's it, right there. See on the
burrito.
end, right there.
A little
That's
donkey?
Shirley's.
Yeah,
Girl,
donkey.
In a black wig.
I don't know
Yep,
how to
that's her.
call him. It's
Okay, so you
they
did-
call him jackass. They call him burrito. They call it
And they all talk about the same,
the same
animal.
thing.
but everybody puts a name on them. It has 4 legs and a head and a tail. And it's
And a
called
big bear, too.
burrito. Burrito.
I know.
No burrito. It's
Okay, whatever.
burrito. Un pequeñito. It's un little burrito.
A little donkey.
Donkey, that's why. Donkey.
She's giving a grammar
A little
lesson.
Juan
Right? Or a little,
Valdez donkey, right?
That's why. It's smaller than
What? The
that.
coffee guy. He had a donkey.
Yeah, it's
Him and his
smaller
burro.
burrito.
Burrito.
Okay, burrito.
She keeps going.
Oh boy.
It's un burrito.
Yay.
Sí. Sí.
Yeah, you can hear me there at the end, you know, because I'm like, yay, this is so good, right? Oh, this is good.
Burrito.
That's when he's getting enough already.
Okay, burrito.
Oh boy.
It's un burrito.
Yay.
Sí. He was all dressed up. They put a lot of little dingies on the little burritos. Sí. It was a cute little thing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
And
know.
it's from one of the movies.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh boy.
That was so good. And we continue. There's more.
Oh, I know.
But the thing that I have never seen is spectacular like that one with the Indians. They're all Indian, but
What are you talking
those
about?
guys
Natu,
dancing,
the song.
dancing.
So they do the big dance number.
Right. So the big dance number from the movie, right?
RRR.
RRR, right.
Which won best song.
Which won Best Original Song.
Right.
Right. This was my mom's first time really watching Bollywood dancing, which kind of surprised me because, you know, they watch a lot of European TV and whatnot.
Sure.
So the fact that she goes on and on about this dancing and oh my gosh, it's just incredible. And so on and so forth. And then that's when Ron's like, where have you been?
Right.
Right.
Okay, right. Here's the clip.
Well, I have never seen a dance like
It's
that.
called Bollywood.
How
was
can
Indian.
they dance like that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
And
because
it's
in
singing
India,
and
they do a
dancing.
lot of movies.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
Yeah,
don't
they
see
do all
it,
their
but
own
in
kind
the-
of thing.
in the-
Yeah.
Wow.
Aaron's
in the
friend
Far East
at
and
school,
there,
she was a Bollywood
they
dancer.
look those movies.
Do,
It's
because I think
almost
that's what the girl called it.
incredible that
Well, I
they
don't know,
can
maybe.
I don't
be
know.
so precise.
That's why you need to get out more and discover things and play with the iPad and learn how to use
And it comes
Here it
full
goes.
circle.
computer and
Yeah.
Full
all that.
circle.
Because all of this has been around for years and years. All that dancing and singing.
Yeah, I understand.
I would like to point out that they did know about the burrito, and we did not.
See, you
We were all
gotta
like, what?
hold yourself and look the computer.
That's the best he can do for a burn, right?
That was it.
Yep, that was it. That was good stuff. But then we get to the end of the evening, and we always end on the same note. That is your parents trying to give food away. Then it's time.
That's it. Time to go.
Then it's time to go.
Hold
Yes,
it,
leave it.
hold it, hold it, hold it.
Hold it.
Here comes.
Stop everything.
Here it comes.
No, Juliet, you're gonna take this because Papa doesn't want to eat it. And hold on, I got the box.
Take it to work with you.
I got the box. I got the box. 3, 4, and 5.
She's counting out the eclairs.
No,
Cream puffs.
and I got the eclair. Unless somebody else wants
No.
it. No?
No, thank you.
Okay, we just got. Okay, thanks very much for coming, girls.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for dinner. You know that pot of pasta sauce was loaded with peppers.
End note. And by the way, you know that was loaded with peppers. Yes, yes.
Well, listener, see what I mean about the food pusher? You don't always hear it, but every week, one of us gets to take something home. A dish of bologna lasagna with day-old green peas, and yes, that has happened before. some rubber shrimp stew, or maybe even a hunk of homemade chocolate cake that you just can't trust to be regular chocolate. Yep, you have to keep your wits about you in this group, that's for sure. On a totally unrelated note, I guess Ron's reference to the Clint Eastwood movie, The Mule, reminded Al about the little burrito on stage at the Oscars. I don't know about you, but I thought that was hysterical. And I don't know why there isn't an Oscar category for funniest podcast. But if there was, we'd be a shoo-in for sure. Hollywood, we're available for commercials, parties, films, TV pilots, and bar mitzvahs. This has been a public service announcement from the Pudding Pusher Institute reminding you not to eat the powder without first adding milk. I hope you enjoyed listening and sharing a laugh or two with us. Stay tuned for more everyday macaroni adventures on future podcast episodes. And if you want to see some pictures of us, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching @everydaymacaroni or #everydaymacaroni. And now you can also watch us on YouTube. Just search Everyday Macaroni and our new channel will pop up. If you want to shop for some fun macaroni merch, head over to everydaymacaroni.com. Don't forget, if you have a blended family story to share, email us at info@everydaymacaroni.com and put the word share in the subject line. You can also call us on our macaroni fun phone at 919-729-2043. Your story might end up on a future episode, and how fun would that be? Super fun. Finally, don't forget to give us a good review and download your favorite episodes. A share would be nice too. The more interaction we get for the podcast, the more episodes we can post. Again, thanks for listening, and join us for the next episode of
Every day is